The following is a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 2.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Archery April finale. We started with over 70 players in this bracket, had a few DQs here and there, but ultimately 70 were started on the entry list. Many of them fought throughout, and after multiple rounds of high-intensity Uno action, we are down to our final two in one of the most unlikely finales probably in league history. Two 14 seeds going at it. That's not something you say every day, but both the only two players currently undefeated right now in the league. Both didn't play in T1, but make their first appearance in T2 and have been on a run. And now one of them will win Archery April and lock themselves into the D2 championship. We will see who that is. Hello, everyone. I am G-Man, and we have our two players here. Number 14 seed, champion of the D-Flex region, João from Portugal, going up against regional champion J Money, who is from New Jersey, which has a lot of history with this league. So we'll see who comes on top. Let's take a look at the players and how they got here. We'll start with João. Pretty good run, has taken down a lot of good competition. Started off with beating Rune to open things out with a 4-3 win. It was a pretty close game, but ended up coming out on top for that one. Actually, I think that was 4-2, so I'm not really sure why that was there, but nonetheless, then he went on to beat West 4-3 in a pretty good match. Then took out Aiden Smith, who's been building himself up as a contender for the first time in his career in the regional semifinal, and then the final took care of business against Captain Gaming. Didn't really give him much of a chance to respond. He was able to win that one and move on to the final four and continue the trend of a debutant making the final four. And now he's also the first debutant to make the finale since Mihael, so he's looking to do what he was unable to in that one and get the tournament victory. We'll see if he could do it. But going over J Money, only his second appearance in the league. He was in Acoustic August, one and done there, but this has been a breakout tournament for him. Beat Evan in the round of 64, 4-2 in a moderately paced match, then beat Fitzy in a very, very long match that probably went too long, but got the win 4-3. Swept Jamie in a very quick match, and then advanced by forfeit from Rana. Rana had a situation popped up. We didn't know about it at the time, but thankfully she's okay. We're glad about that, but had to keep the round moving. So J Money won by via DQ there. And then we moved to the final four, where João was able to beat Ridley in the classic 5-4. Ridley nearly came back in that one. Was down 4-1, but slowly brought it back. João was able to take control and close out game 9 to move on. So João having some of that pressure experience if we get down to the later games here. And then J Money kind of took control of the game early on against Ami. Ami unfortunately didn't really have much of a fight towards the back half, and J Money moved on from there. And now we are set up with our 14v14 finale. I don't know if this will ever happen again, but it's going to be exciting nonetheless. We'll see who gets the win here. This will be the lowest seed to ever win a tournament, no matter who wins this one. But we'll jump over to the stream here. I'm joined by my co-commentator Yoshi, who will be both commentating and reffing for today. We'll start with you, Yoshi. We've seen both these players throughout this run do a lot of great stuff here. But what do you think is the key difference maker between the two that could see what ends up happening today on the table?
Yeah, I think these two have had some pretty interesting stories, right? We obviously, João making a big statement for himself, really getting using the practicing and his he's been practicing a lot, and as a rookie, that's like one of your best tools to really put yourself in a position to do really well in a tournament, depending on how the cards go. And I think like practice is best when you're just getting started with joining a league, and I feel like Joao really took advantage of that. I mean, I think he's starting to understand what to do in certain situations. Plays a certain style that he's kind of, I mean, openly admitted to, but it hasn't been able. But no one's really been able to figure it out, and it's a very interesting situation we see here.
There's
But yeah,
there's
like I mean, he's really. Oh boy.
sorry to interrupt. There's Rana wishing J Money good luck ahead of time, but continue.
Oh my god. So yeah, there's a lot going for Joao, and the trend of winning a Grimland event, translating pretty well to how you do in the next tournament. For Red, it got him to the Elite Eight, I believe, and then for Joao, he's in the final. Potentially could win a tournament, which would be pretty insane. But I think J Money is gonna not make it easy though. I feel like he's one of those players where I kind of expected um I expected him to have potential. I mean, his first and only match in 2024 was a very good match despite the loss. Um he got the run back in the final four. I mean, really, you get those run backs. It definitely shows that like um that you're a player that you can't underestimate, and I think J Money really showed that. It's cool to see him finding time to play and also getting good results in at the end. I'm curious to see if he can get the tournament win here. I think both these players are very capable of it. These two being 14 seeds, the only obviously I think these two definitely are more than that. But obviously with the circumstances, that it's obvious why they are this low seeded. But still, like that's just kind of the way it goes. I think Joao has that practice advantage. Playing a lot in recent times, and J Money just kind of sticking to his style. And knowing that the job isn't done until he gets that tournament win. So this could be a battle of mindset and just kind of overall play style. That's what I'm thinking here is going to be the battle.
All right, Joao currently not in the VC right now, so I'm just sending him his question. But while we have that, well, actually, I think he just joined. Yeah, there he is. Okay, well, Joao, I just posted your question there. I'll just read it off. Joao, you've been quite on the run for your debut and you've taken on a lot of fierce competition throughout your run. That said, your final test ends up being the only opponent that ends up being a lower seed than you. Do you think that could play a potential impact on how you approach this game, or is it full steam ahead in terms of what you need to do to get the victory? You could type out the answer if you want. But for J Money, we'll go over to you. I mean, you've won in all sorts of ways throughout this bracket. But interesting test here for the final one as you go up against someone on your seed line. And especially now with the Rana Uno blessing that we just saw. Any thoughts going into this game on what you need to do to get the job done? Because you've been saying a lot throughout this run that the job's not done yet. So that's gonna be a type.
Yeah, definitely. It would have been nice to see Rana and J Money play, but things happen, and I'm curious to see. I guess to take a quick detour. I'm curious to see if Rana can come back can maybe get another run, or if she's gonna lose in the first round. It'll be interesting how she comes back from the unfortunate DQ. But J Money, I think, taking full advantage of um, getting that win. I mean, all he really needs to think about is winning the tournament. That gets him into the championship. And hopefully he has the time and availability to play in the championship for that matter. Uh, but still, I think it'll be great to see him there or either of these players for that matter.
All right, I'll read what Joel said. Honestly, since I've joined this tournament, I've been lower seed, so I will be even more aggressive knowing that I have the home advantage. It is 100% full steam ahead. And then for J Money, just gotta stick with what I know. Hopefully everything plays out in my favor. Excited no matter what it is, though. I think it is gonna be fun. I do think also when it comes to the postseason, this finale does play a big role because we have to remember last season Mihael made a finale also and ended up not making the D2 championship. So just making the finale is not the lock in. Both these players are going to want to make sure they have that security that they're in no matter what happens the rest of the season, because if it goes disastrous for 23 and 24, that could be a problem. But we'll see who gets the job done. Yoshi's going to start things up, best of 9, and Joao is going to actually have the first call, which I don't think anyone was expecting at all throughout this tournament run. But that's where we are right now. Joao gets the call for the first game. We'll see what he decides to go with here to kick things off.
Yeah, I think Joe has a clear favorite card starts in. We're starting with 9. And speaking of 9,
9's across the board here. But green 9's going to be the opener. And we're going to go down to the 6.
all right. So I think I really like the play styles that these two have shown throughout this tournament, and we'll see which one pays off in the end. We starting off with the greens. Only J Money only having a green 0, just trying to see if he can get a switch, but couldn't find it there. I feel like J Money tends to do pretty well avoiding these early draws, but this is, kind of a new scenario that he might have to adapt to. Okay, yeah. I mean, Joel's a quick player. J Money not gonna be phased by that, but he's gonna switch into yellow, which, you know, we're getting into risky territory with these color switches, but okay, yeah. Joel already at 4.
Looking for a
Looking
quick
to
finish
maybe
there.
win the
There's a
game.
quick finish right there.
Oh,
Yeah, wow. That's going to be a plan A to start things off here. We've seen a lot of those this tournament. Yeah, I mean, the switches I just think played out in his favor. Because, I mean, actually, no. Actually, I mean, yeah. I mean, the only thing that really was affecting him was the green, and was able to find the switch there. Besides that, just kind of ran to the end. I really don't got much to say on that one. It was just got some crucial switches and just ran plan A from the end there.
yeah. I mean, it's just tough. I mean, like, J Money unfortunately fell into Joao's hand. Really, just I mean, I assume there was not much he could have done, or maybe he did have stuff. But I mean, it didn't look like it, especially when he drew early on that green. He probably was just kind of hoping that Joao didn't have a good hand. I feel like those switches were probably, I would assume, would be or desperate switches, but I don't know. Uh, yeah. Either way, I think even if J Money had some good cards, it's hard to expect. I mean, if your opponent doesn't draw at all, it's really hard to predict what they're gonna have. So
Yeah, but that will do it for game 1. We'll just jump to game 2 here. Not just much to say on that one. He's just gonna go for the OG start here.
yes, the low starts. Well, I mean, I guess 9 isn't specifically low, but it's one of the. Oh,
Ooh,
wait a minute. Okay.
doesn't jump on the skip and has no yellow, so not the start Joao was hoping for here. We'll see if J Money can capitalize.
Yeah, some card starts gonna do that to you sometimes, and yeah, well, J Money just able to play on that. Okay,
Joao
Zeal
finds
2.
he finds the potential top deck there. And J Money's gonna get the switch here, so J Money is rolling. It's
Gives
no
Joao
green,
an
so
whoa.
that's a 2-color start for Joao, and he's gone on both colors so far. He does not have, so he needs the red and blue. So, but right now, green and yellow is a disaster. And just as I say that,
Wait a minute.
actually ends up having a hold there, and may have drawn that yellow too to close that out. So possibly looking for another stall here, but J Money's gonna go back to the green here. That's gonna force another draw
Yeah,
here, but. Yeah, this is an early weakness being shown in this game right now, which is not what Joao needs. There it is.
I mean, wow. As we said, like Joao is willing to go aggressive. Um, it can backfire, but clearly, when you find the right numbers, it could become actually a favorable scenario.
Well, I mean, the thing is now he's gone on the blue and red here, which is what he needs. So he's able to roll at the moment. We'll see what G Money does. Gets it to the
Okay,
yellow, which I
trying to
think is
get back into that yellow.
I think is what he needs. But Joao's it covered here.
Okay, so
Ooh, J Money
yeah,
runs
and then
out.
nothing.
And suddenly this fell the way he needed. That's going to be a check onto the red.
This is tough. I mean, the only thing J Money can have is just some kind of action card if he
Nothing. Wow.
doesn't.
Yeah, and I mean that was pretty much just the two color there. And as soon as Joao was able to get that switch to the blue and red, he was just off running. And ultimately, J Money tried to get the switch he needed to force Joao in the draw again, but ultimately didn't pan out. So yeah, I mean that's a really good opening start for Joao here, getting two pretty quick wins. That kind of doesn't leave us with much to say in terms of the game. I guess for J Money, if there's anything he maybe could have done a little bit differently there, in terms of the approach, but yeah, that just seems like Joao's draws ended up leading up into the red and blue still mostly, to keep him out. But is what it is. Drew nothing good. Decided the draw in the first turn while having green yellow +2 as a gamble. Okay, so yeah, so didn't really have any yellow numbers it seemed, but did have the connection with the +2s, but didn't want to go on it early. I think I do understand the mindset with that, and we've seen some people do that before. So yeah, but that's gonna be a quick start for Joao here, 2-0. J Money looking to bring things back here with his homestand. But he'll get the choice now, can pick anything, and we'll see what he goes with. He's gonna go for the higher tier, which I think is what he needs to go for right now, because the mid-low tier is not really working.
Yeah, I feel like he wants more cards to work with, knowing that going low doesn't seem to be working. He had the wild, and Joao just playing with having these calculated risks of just going for that +6, forcing, you know, allowing him to really get the number efficiency that he's looking for. Seems to be doing well with that number efficiency. I mean, playing with it, and oh yeah, see, like Joao has really good number efficiency, or as we're seeing here, just trying to take advantage of that. Um, it's early in the game, and yeah, look, another 2 as well. Yeah, I mean, he's really looking to switch a lot here, kind of doing what Tago likes to do, like switching any moment he gets. Yeah, oh my goodness.
There's another switch there. I mean, you look at the stats on the switches here. It's clear lead on that from Joao, 11-5 right now. So really taking control of the colors at the moment.
Both quickly down to 5 cards. Let's see if J Money has the hand that he wanted. He actually is going to go for the switch this time. Joao can run with it. Is this a color that J Money needs though? Definitely needs this game win. Because Joao's pretty good with momentum and keeping it going. And yeah, there we go. Oh, didn't even 2+4s actually.
Yeah, J Money's gonna get one back here. Which is very much what he needs. It's another quick one. This seems to be relatively homestand favored series so far, and I mean the double +4 is gonna help with clean that. Really just I guess garbage time +4 as well. Didn't really matter with that one, but yeah, I mean I really don't got much to say on this so far. This has really just kind of been mostly plan A's. Maybe a tiny bit of plan B in game 2, but yeah, really quick games so far. Not really giving a lot to ask the players in between, but I think in a way kind of just keeps them composed in the game, and I think the pace is showing to be pretty quick so far.
I think yeah. Also, maybe Joao can take from that game that maybe switching as much as he did wasn't the best move there. because clearly it allowed J Money to save the 2+4s. I mean, but I don't know. It definitely was a situational. Is that definitely was situational considering switching as much as you do can be risky, but sometimes it works out in a different game. So, but yeah, definitely wanted to make sure that this stuff wasn't a complete wash for one of these two players. So we're likely going to have a series here, and J Money going to go with 12 for game 4, keeping the similar number of cards for game 3.
Yeah, I think he wants to keep that range. The higher tier seems to be working so far for him. But starting with the green skip here. Second time we started with the skip. Last time we didn't jump on it, but we'll see if we do this time. No, we won't. We stay with the green.
Yeah, he doesn't draw. And okay, well, João just gonna keep going with the strats. I mean, like I said, you can switch this a lot, and in some games it'll work. Even if it doesn't work in one game, it could work in a different game. So 2 blue 6s for J Money though.
Red 6
Okay,
here.
so João held on to that red 6, just waiting one more turn to play it. Interesting. Okay, and yeah, I mean, kind of the aggressive style we see here, going for the skip and drawing as well, letting that skip open, and actually it's gonna work. So both players out of red pretty quickly here.
This could be really the first draw city of the game so far, which you haven't really seen. A lot of this has been quick plan A, but might get a bit of
Good
a
too.
pace slowdown here. Just like I
All
said,
right,
that
we
we
go
just
back to that blue.
get that switch right there.
So okay, yeah, I mean, and there's the switch into green. So again, J Money just kind of letting João get the control on these color switches because clearly it's been working for him so far. And well, here's where we start to see some control on his end. Get the yellow 8. Definitely fast paced. João with the home advantage so far, or the possession arrow, I meant to say. Um, let's see. Yeah, I mean, I think both these players got a similar end game style where they kind of want that big run to the finish. Um, so it's gonna be interesting to see how these players kind of, they might have to think about countering against that, knowing that that is a pretty, yeah, here, well, hold on, J Money might be able to get the win on this.
Potentially. Wow, there it
Yeah,
is. And I mean, you got another tie up there. And now we are at. But those are actually also the first two reverses
yeah.
to be played in the entire series so far.
I mean, I read the room well there. Both players were saving up for a finish, and J Money just getting it first. So sometimes you have to be aware of the about that, and it could help you going. It could help you, especially uh, when you're aware of that scenario. You can kind of play a bit differently to really put yourself in a good spot. But unfortunately, João was just I don't know. It just didn't have. Yeah, yeah. I figured he had something. Oh, +12. So that would have been 3+2s and then something else. Yeah, that would have been interesting. But I guess no +4s that game, but still, I mean, still pretty competitive one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go to the players on this one because you're seeing a trend here. We'll start with Joao. We're seeing the trend of home field being the advantage here. What do you feel you got to do on your end to make sure you keep that trend going in the game 5 and beyond, especially where you're looking to go back to looking to go back to 9 here in game 5? I was just gonna go good at. All right, and then for J Money, kind of the inverse here. What do you try to do here to break the trend here and get a win on the board here? The first away win of the series for either side.
Will this be the fastest finale ever? I mean, very possible because don't really. I mean, until Ghost makes the finale, uh, I feel like this will definitely be one of the best. This probably will be the best one.
A Ghost Myth finale in D1 would be quicker than the entire opening pregame from KT. That's all I'm gonna say on that.
That
Um,
yeah, that's pretty much.
there'll be more KT pregame commentary than gameplay. So, if
Yeah,
that ever
both
happens,
of
we'll
them
see.
kind of. Yeah, both of them kind of thinking similarly here, knowing that just got to do what they feel is right.
Ooh, and a
And
+2
another
to start
green
things off.
start.
Okay, this is gonna be interesting because now we're in a weird range. Joe, I was gonna draw again
What?
here. We saw in game 2 that doesn't mean that both have drawn on the green. So
If one of them gets.
this is either gonna be a game of chicken or neither had anything on green. Joel's gonna jump onto the wild red here. And wow,
My God.
this might be a 3-color game here to start things off. Which
I don't even know what to say there. I think Joel was just kind of like, I don't want to get +4. Let me just, from a +2, let me just switch the color. Uh, that was kind of scary, but we're clearly seeing red being a color that Joel wants. Does J Money go for a switch, or does he try and play this cool and wait for the draw? Because
I
it's
mean,
unlikely that he's going to win on this.
red is a color that both of them want. It seems here. I mean, this is likely going to be 3-color here, which makes this first draw really crucial, and J Money's going to have it.
Yeah, so there's the draw, and there's the switch. Just missing out an opportunity to prevent that switch. So
All right, blue 3 here. That should free up J Money a bit. We'll see what the response is. Blue 7. Again, haven't really seen much of the ammo yet, although I know we know J Money does like the ammo saves, so could be lining up something for a finish at some point, or it could just have nothing. We don't really know. Because, I mean, we've seen these earlier games where J Money just doesn't seem to have much.
okay, goes to blue 1. I mean, so far this seems like a game where Joao clearly wanted the red, and now he's able to get into the blue. Just seems to be a good. Ever since that wild, he's been able to play the game that he wants to play. Does J Money have anything in the back end, which I feel like he's got to think about using at some point?
All right, he's going to jump on the
Yeah.
+4. Wasn't feeling safe. Going to jump on the +4 here, take the lead, and it goes to yellow. And then we
Oh,
get switched
interesting. And you
to...
go to green.
All right, maybe looking for a stall out here. J Money's going to draw. Joel might be able to play this a little bit, but...
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, this I don't think he's going to be able to finish on the screen, though. Just keeps going.
Well, you might be able to get a switch. That would be the key here. J Money, unfortunately, he got the +4, hopefully to stop Joao from winning, but it seems to be that, yeah,
Alright.
unfortunate. Oh, okay.
J Money
Trying to go aggressive.
wasn't liking the situation on the green here. So gonna try to go back to red. See what he does here.
Yeah, what can he do off this?
We are getting low on the cards here, so double. I mean,
Oh
is this
my
potentially a
God.
bailout finish?
That would be insane. I I
And it
would
is.
it
Wow.
no. Oh my God. Wait. So what did he get off that draw then? Or
One.
off those multiple draws?
There was 2 draws there, right? So I mean, that's gonna have to be the big question. JMO, what were those 2 draws? Because I mean, that was a huge bailout there to find the win there. With the skips, the reverse. I mean, that lined up pretty perfectly because all those were different colors. So that was just a perfect storm for J Money. But I'm really curious what those draws were because that just lined up incredibly in J Money's hand.
I guess. To me, this was.
Blue 2 gave the link, yeah. And I mean
Yeah, yeah, I see it.
that was the card he exactly needed because anything else was probably not going to work. So that's kind of crazy how we got that to go. And I mean the yellow 4 didn't really matter since he had that big run anyways. That was just the finisher. So crazy
Interesting.
stuff there.
Yeah, J Money completely banking on, his ammo leading him to victory there. I feel like he needed that blue plus too, because the only other way you would connect that is with like a +4. I mean, it's just one of those those like gambles that sometimes it's worth going for. Yeah, like sometimes saving the ammo like that can really help. I mean, I feel like he got lucky. So, it's not worth, in a scenario where he has the opportunity to do that again. He can't bank on it working every single time, but that is definitely a great, sometimes you just gotta believe in things working out for you. And I don't know what Joel had at the end there. He probably had like just, I don't know, numbers maybe. But
Yeah,
either way, I
I
feel
mean,
like
maybe a little bit of ammo, but like not enough to the point where you get a 7 bag finish. But that was kind of crazy. I was not really expecting that. But game 6 here, and J Money gets the first away stand win, so that could change the momentum a bit. That's 3 straight for J Money as well. He got a
oh,
free choice start here. Um, and the saying goes for me, this is a double-edged sword. So we'll see what Joao decides here. Gonna go with red.
all right. We see clear momentum, yeah, shifting into J Money's way. He's got three in a row.
All right, quick switch.
Joao,
Okay.
Joao definitely is gonna look to win this one because whoever gets that fourth game win, we know both these players are gonna save the power play, or maybe Joao sometimes uses it um earlier than the
I
last
mean,
game.
Joao did not use his power play in the Final Four matchup, so he could just go without it throughout. But I don't think he will this
Yeah,
time. But
yeah, just pull a myth basically.
well, that actually cost Myth the series by not using it. So um, hopefully Joao not going
Okay,
down a similar path, but
+2.
that will give him the
Oh,
lead.
already down to three. I mean, when you're against Joao, you got to you got to always be aware of what he has, how many cards he has left, because he goes down quick. J Money.
Ooh,
Oh, okay.
runs out, so no +4 there. Joao looking
Let's see.
to
J Money not
get something here.
okay. Yeah, I mean, definitely just running down the numbers. If he has ammo, I mean, that was pretty brave of him to not go for the ammo when with two cards left. But he might just have numbers right here, as we see, just
Yeah,
running down the blues.
this is not what Joao needs at all. Just J Money keeps going on the blues here. And he just cannot find anything. J Money typing here. This could be another quick one. This has been just quick series, quick game after quick game here, throughout. And that's another finish
Oh
there. Wow,
my
4-2.
god.
This has been, man, really, really rapid series. This is much different than what we saw from February, where a lot of the games were more in the mid range. This is just
And
everything's been pretty quick here. 3 minutes 6 seconds has been the longest game so far. And that's four
so
straight for J Money.
it's another series where where Joao just is lacking the +4s in comparison to his opponent. But we also see the only thing he's ahead of J Money on is Wilds, and it was only 2-1 anyway. So it's like you're also even on +2s. Yeah, Joao just kind of in the back end not getting anything.
I mean, Joao's gonna have to try to figure something out here because that's four straight for J Money. But yeah, I mean, I mean, I've said this before because we've seen games similar to like this in the tournament where it's like you just got to be able to execute on the cards you get, and J Money's just been executing, not really making any mistakes here. That leaves the door open. So J Money's just been doing what he needs to do. But I also think the double nine is actually not worked out in Joel's favor here. So J Money's gonna get the call again, but the only option he can't pick is 9. But J Money's now one away here, in a really good spot, but. I mean, again, the comeback is not out of the question, of course, because we've seen it before.
Hmm.
But I mean, yeah, with how this has been going so far, this is going to be tough for Joao, especially where he's not really getting the cards. He's going to need a quick fortune shift here in Game 7, if he wants to spark some more hope in the comeback.
Yeah, so we're at game 7. So with game 7, and then potentially if we get there, game 8, game 9, J Money has the control on game 7 and 8. Joao could have that last game call if he gets to it. So J Money could definitely think about that. And like he could try something in this game. If it doesn't work, he has the next call anyway.
This is what we were talking about, the Rana Uno blessing. It's real. Rana gave the bot J Money's blessing, and then now it's 4-2. And I mean, you see 4-1 on the plus fours, and then 4-1 reverse, 6-1 on the skips. João going to be looking into the crowd to find someone to bless him. That might be the adjustment he needs to get the win here. But going back to 13.
So yeah,
All right,
all right, here we go.
Red is going to try to bless him with a handful of reds, and with a starting card of yellow 8, that's not really going to help him.
We'll see. You know, it would be very funny if he did end up getting a lot of reds in this game. But, all right. So, J Money, you know, he's definitely usually.
There's the red.
My God. All right, let's see how many reds he can play here.
A lot. Got both the plus twos on reds. I think
the plus red plus twos.
I think he found his donor here. But yeah,
Let's see.
Look, I understand they play the jump on the plus twos early for the plus 6, because I mean, you know what J Money's win condition is going to be here, so you want to try to make sure he's as far away from it as possible.
No. All right, well, not that many reds, I guess. We're going into green. João playing the aggressive style, as usual, wanting to. You know, J Money got a lot of cards, but he has to use them well if he wants to win this game. I feel like if he has the ammo, which he probably does, but he might not. It's definitely gonna be tough to figure out. Okay, when is the time to keep them, and when's the time to actually start throwing them out? João gets down to 5. So
I mean, Joao's looking to get another quick one here to get the momentum back on his side. But for J Money now, he's in a position where he has to think about what kind of defense he wants to play here.
right.
I mean, you have the safe defense where it's like you'll save the game for yourself with like a +4 or something like that. But you could potentially screw up a path for you later on, or you could play a more risky defense with like the ISIS and the switches. But he's gonna go for the wilds here. He thinks Joao's ran out possibly. And it's not really gonna matter here. So all right, that's gonna be João needed that. But it makes it 4-3. And yeah, I mean, this has been insane. I mean, these have been really quick games so far. Just a lot of plan A, a lot of running the cards down. Not necessarily what we were exactly expecting to see for the finale, but ultimately this is what we're getting right now. But yeah, I guess the only question I have is João, is Red's blessing possibly helping you get back into this game? Because I mean, at this point, I think it's just the external help that's really playing a factor. But
Jeez.
because I mean, because J Money has Rana in his corner, and then now João has found Red in his corner. But yeah, but J Money's gonna have the game 8 call. Love the comp, live for it. All right, so we'll see what J Money goes. Will he stay with the highs here, or maybe explore something a little different here? Because this is gonna be his last call here. So if he doesn't win this, we go to game 9, and João has the call. He's gonna stick with the mid high tier, go with 12.
All right, yeah, this is he's definitely trying to bank on the cards that he won on before. So we have not too many different card starts this series. We've only have like 4 different card starts.
Yeah, I mean, taking advantage of the MCSR rules. So green reverse is gonna be opener here. We'll see if we have a run here. Although J Money usually doesn't jump on these.
We've had a green skip, a green +2 start, and now a green reverse.
Yeah, and none of them have been led into a run. They've all been numbers, but Joao's gonna go for an immediate color switch here. We haven't seen too much of that so far with the immediate switches, but we know Joao has kind of done a lot of the color switches for a majority of this game. You see here he is still leading on the color switch metric.
Yeah, we talked about Joao not getting the cards But that's the thing about the spot. It could start evening out, and we saw that a little bit in the last game. I feel like Joel's starting to get the cards again. 3-color game. I don't know. Blue double play.
Joao takes the lead here. J Money continues the run down.
Oh my god, it's a
I mean,
lot of switches.
yeah, I mean Joao has the lead here, but J Money is still like within range, so and that's not gonna help Joao
Oh
at all.
boy,
He did not need
that
that.
could be tough. It's
Yeah,
another green.
J Money gonna keep the green going, but finds the switch in the
Wait a
blue.
minute.
Joao very much needs a draw from J Money here. That's really what he's looking for at this point.
Yeah, it's getting like we're getting in a dire situation. Joao just trying anything. Does the blue switch become a fatal switch though? J Money is taking his time. Probably one of the first times we've seen
He
that. He
draws.
actually draws.
That's what Joao needed, and he's gonna run the blue now.
Okay.
It's certainly Joao has some life here.
I mean, you know, J Money could be looking for that one connector. We saw that in a. Oh, wait a minute.
Does he have the cover? No, he does not.
Wow. I
And
mean,
J
yeah,
wow, J
that's
Money runs
a
it.
good stall. That's a good stall. I figured this would be a stall.
All right, gotta draw City here. We could have our longest game of the series so far.
Yeah, wait.
We're at 225 right now.
Yep.
Taking a second, gonna jump on the wild here
Oh
for the wild
my.
yellow.
Taking a
That should free up both of them.
taking a piece, a letter. I don't even know the term. Taking a letter in Joao's book of using the wilds after a drawing, and you know we'll see if this
Oh, he
works.
found the
Okay, we go to
blue.
blue. That could be tough for J Money.
I mean, J Money. No, nothing from blue from the draws here. So J Money in trouble on blue, but Joao actually
Oh
uses that to
wow,
get ahead there. It is a crossover to the green now, as we do have
that was
our.
probably off. That would had to have been off the draw. That's an insane pull.
This is the longest game of the series now, so
All right, we're drawing. Does Joel get the switch? No, he can't draw. Okay.
all right, we finally not a plan A game here, so we are just getting a decent amount of draw city, but this green has really been the stall color right now. Again,
Wait,
no
yeah.
red has been played out. Yeah, I mean, really that switch is going to be kind of what turns the momentum here. It's going to be how many reds both players have.
Yeah, it's very possible that one of these players are just not getting any reds. Or they could be like just waiting for one of they're just kind of like stalling until one of them actually eventually gets that red, which could be the key for these guys. But yeah, I mean Joao in a pretty comfortable lead at this point, but obviously with the power play. Oh, and we're going to blue again.
I
So
feel like
J Money.
I feel like J Money's gotten at least something here on this blue now. Yeah, there it is. I just
Okay.
don't know how long he's going to be able to run it.
Yeah, we'll see. Oh, Joao doesn't have much though.
Well, leaving the door open here for a potential switch. J Money's not going to bite on
Okay.
it. Now
Yeah,
it's
I don't. J Money definitely. I feel like he doesn't bite too much on these kinds of things.
suddenly this is a two-color game between yellow and red. And speaking of red, there it
Oh,
is.
oh my god, it's another wild.
Well, here's the break. This is two colors. This is two colors to the finish here. I don't think we're getting another draw city.
This is. I mean, here's the thing. Oh my god. Here's the thing. Like
There is a lot of counting going on in the game chat. But Short is I don't think Short knows how to count. Or maybe he really likes the number 4.
my thing with this play for J Money, he's behind on cards. I think he's got to be really confident that he can potentially get the win with the power play if he's going for that wild red. We'll see. I feel like this would be the time he just used power play or something, right? Like,
No, he
oh
ran
no, he
out.
doesn't actually.
This might backfire on him.
Mm.
And it's a switch to yellow, and I think Joao was in a
Okay,
really good
yeah.
spot here.
Okay, that could be the check that Joao needs. Can J Money do anything here?
Haven't seen this yell in a while, so maybe he has a +2 or something of the sort. But
Yeah, it's gonna need to do it. We haven't seen any +2s actually this game.
there's a
Oh,
plus
he's
four, jumps on it,
+4.
keeps the color though. Power play, okay.
Okay. Wow. So just yeah.
That
All
was
right.
relatively ambitious. But all right, Joao uses the power play. On the wild +4. Okay, that is interesting.
Maybe maybe he wanted to keep. He wants the color to still be yellow. Maybe he was thinking J Money would switch out, but I don't know that with like ammo or something. Okay,
That
but he doesn't
that did
have any
not
yellow.
that did not work out at all.
Or I mean, maybe he just ran out and he doesn't want to play anything he has in his hand right now. But dang, it's just interesting. It actually works out though. Okay.
I mean, ultimately that might be a burn on the power play though, because
Right, right. That's the problem.
I feel like he got a little too trigger happy there, but he's not in a spot where it cost him the game yet. J Money
Wait,
now with the
wait,
power play.
what? No way, not again. You get the connectors. Is this the connector?
I don't. Well, it would be like a six. Oh, okay. Yellow +2.
So
Um,
wait. Never mind. I forgot what I was gonna say. +2. I mean, we're gonna see a lot of +2s because I feel like, given the fact that we haven't seen any, I think J Money's been saving a lot of them.
this could be +2 galore here. Um,
Oh yeah, I was thinking Joao maybe power played as a defensive, maybe thinking that J Money was gonna win, but like he didn't use power play.
okay.
Oh, never mind. It's just
No,
reverses.
it's gonna be a chain of reverses here. This might just be like getting the Uno. Um, 'Cause, I mean,
I thought that would be
he's down to
something.
3. No, he didn't even
Oh
he
my
didn't even need to call the
god.
power play there. That's the second time we saw a 7 card run in this series, and this time it's gonna be J Money locking it up. Wow. This was a very bizarre series, all things considered. But J Money ends up getting the win. Um, in the longest game, I mean, that was that was 7:59, 8 minutes. Yeah, definitely one of the more unusual finales we've seen. Um, and I mean, yeah, I really don't know what to say besides J Money thoughts on getting the win. I mean, that was definitely an interesting series. You definitely had card advantage at times. And I mean, the double 7 card runs to the finish really were big, especially with the draws. Um, but any thoughts on the win and locking up your spot in the D2 championship here after missing February?
I feel like the big statement for J Money to getting to this point was that Fitzy game. We don't want to talk about it too much because of how it ended, but I feel like overall, I feel like he learned a lot from that. The endurance, and from going from all the way to an endurance battle to then going on an insanely quick series. I mean, he had so much adaptation, and I feel like he played. I think J Money's style just worked out against Joao. I think he realized that after losing the first 2 games, okay, maybe it's better for me to save the ammo. It's better for me to really bank on this ammo working out, and yeah, getting that run of luck. Again, I hold on. I gotta see. So how many draws did he go for before the power play? So after, again, I'm curious where he got off those 2 draws. I feel like it's clear that he has the style of um having basically all ammo left in his hand, not caring about number of fish at all, just wanting to wait for those connectors to end it all. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. Like the top decks are pretty powerful, but when you have ammo, a lot of ammo left in your hand, you can potentially afford like. I think getting those top decks really is more likely to be more in your favor because now you have the ammo. If you get more ammo, it just adds on. Um, you eventually get a connector and it could pay off. Um, I think J Money. Yeah, I feel like this definitely seemed like a tough battle for Joao, but at the same time, I do think he also adapted to Joao's style.
Yeah, I'm trying to just get this metric in while we can. Because I am curious on that, but I mean for Joao, obviously a frustrating end there. But thoughts on your run overall and making it to the finale here, even if the game here today didn't really go the way you needed it to. But thoughts on your run in general and what you look to bring to tournament three.
I think, and I think for Joao, he was trying to land those arrows right in the middle, but unfortunately, just kind of he was getting some good hits, but not enough to really snag that bullseye. And I think J Money found the bullseye with the top decks. It really that was really the key to his victory here, finding those connectors to get that bullseye for the to finish it all. I mean, it's fitting, right? It's like J Money searches for the right aim, getting the right trajectory, and then eventually he gets that. It leads into the bullseye for the win.
There's the card strength metric, J Money favored, so definitely on the upper end, but not the craziest thing we've seen. But I mean that was still kind of crazy. A lot of that game came down to timing, so yeah. But it's your man. My run overall was crazy. Didn't think I'd get here. Very frustrated over this loss. I don't think I would have lost this had the ammo had been even. And I mean that's fair enough. That's kind of a bit of a frustrating way to end it, but I think we saw in the February finale where the final game actually did come down to a big run towards the end. So this will be the second time we have a big run to close out the tournament, but this time in a more interesting series where it really ran quick, except for the last game, which went about 8 minutes. But yeah, only 23 minutes for the finale. That's kind of wild, but that's just kind of how it goes sometimes, I guess. I mean, Yoshi, any general takeaways from this one? As J Money is going to the D2 Championship, he joins Luke there as they lock their spots up. Any thoughts overall on how this one went?
Yeah, I mean, J Money with a pretty wild story, right? Like he's got a busy life, but the times that he played, I mean, i his record is just really good. I mean, yeah, he lost to Ami in the first round of the that tournament, but it was definitely one of the best matches of the round, as far as I remember. I'm pretty sure I really enjoyed that match. Um, and then going into this tournament, he wasn't able to play in the first tournament, but then coming into the second tournament, takes out pretty much. I mean, everyone he played was a tough opponent. Maybe except Jamie, but still, I feel like he really had to fight tooth and nail, fighting so many different styles, ending up understanding that adaptation is the key to victory. And it's I'm really looking forward to how he performs in the D2 championship. If he competes more and gets some consistent wins, he could definitely guarantee himself into D1. He just has to keep playing in tournaments. We'll see if he can, but if he can't, then I mean, he's in the championship, so still a really good chance of making it to D1. So, um, but yeah, like as he says, the job's never over, right? There's always something else to climb. There's always another mountain to climb. Uh, Joao, I think you're a rookie. You do this well this early. There's really not too much to be annoyed over. I mean, a lot of the series you've been dealing with, you've been down on plus fours. You've been trying to come back from a deficit, and only now has it not worked out. So I think going into the next tournament, it's good. You could definitely keep your momentum going, getting more. You're already in LCQ at the very worst. So really, all you need to do is just start being more consistent. Keep the consistency up, not uh, at least getting like one or two wins in the next tournament. Uh, Keep yourself at a good amount of wins, and then just close it out T4. I mean, there's a lot on the table still. There's a lot of we're seeing some players already in LCQ that could be at that could be a threat to being an at-large. So you definitely don't have tough competition, but it's, if you just keep up, then I think you can definitely make it there. But I mean, it is a good match. Uh, I think both players played really well, and despite some of the card differences, I think J Money really showed why you know he really showed himself. It's all I got. I mean, if he, I hope he comes back in the next tournament. So to really, so then he has if he does, then gets some more wins. He could definitely make it into one of those top 4 seeds for the T Championship, which would put him in D1 no matter what.
Yeah, I think for J Money, the biggest thing now is just the rest of the season try to do well to get one of those top 4 seeds because, I mean, if that is the goal, he definitely has to be going at it for tournament 3 and tournament 4 to make sure he's in the top 4 because even though he did get the tournament win here today, that doesn't necessarily mean he will be a top 4 seed. So I'm gonna see what he does for the rest of the season. But he's got that D2 chip lock spot locked up. I'm sure KT is happy with the result because I know he's good buddies with him. So we'll see how that goes. Again, you see it right there. Excited for the next 3 goals to run it back. But yeah, I mean, we talk about the championship, and I mean, this at-large discussion does start becoming a factor because we do have our first reveal show here in between for this tournament. So we'll be interested to see how that goes. We'll technically have rankings going into tournament 3 now on where people are at, but yeah, but Meteorology May is just around the corner. So we'll see how that goes. Going to be having probably a quicker start time than you think. Probably going to be early May. So that will be an interesting tournament. We'll have to see how the exams and vacations and whatnot go in terms of the overall bracket. So we'll have to figure that out. But should be an exciting one here as we wrap up Archery April here. Congratulations to J Money on the victory here. And that will do it. We'll see you all for Meteorology May as we jump into the Easter break. But on behalf of the MRE UNO team, Yoshi, my co-commentator, everyone who came to watch, thank you all so much for watching. And again, congratulations to J Money on the victory here. Just his second appearance in MRE UNO, so gets the job done. But we will see you all for Meteorology May. But until then, have a great Easter, everyone, and take care.
This has been a presentation of MRE UNO, Division 2.